Okay, now that we've harvested our honey, we have these wonderful honey cappings. But how do you go from this to usable wax that you can use to make candles or body care products? Well, it's really pretty simple. You mostly need a pan that you can put boiling water in, and a dedicated pan for your beeswax, because once you use it for mountain beeswax, you're really not going to be able to use it for anything else. Now, I've gotten one of these, I guess we've all bought them, these ceramic non-scratch skillets that actually do stick and do scratch. So I've got 5 or 6, so I've got plenty that I can throw away. And then you're going to need cheesecloth. You're going to need to put it in several layers to strain it as much as you can, because besides taking the honey out, you're taking out the bee parts and maybe too much propolis or just whatever got in there that you don't want. Now, you can use a milk carton and use a rubber band to put it on, or if you don't have that much, you could also just use a regular plastic cup and maybe some stretchy elastic to put it on there. Now, we're just going to put our wax into this pan. I've got my water just about up to a boil. You want to make sure that your wax is not boiling. You just want to keep it on a low heat. And you never want to do this over open flames. Beeswax is extremely flammable. Now, you're just going to have to watch this. It might take you 20 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour, however much you started out with. And just keep an eye on your water. You need to watch it, make sure it doesn't boil dry. So I'll keep an eye on this and come back when it's ready to strain. Okay, our wax has melted. Now we're ready to pour it into our milk carton with the strainer. Now, one thing you want to be careful of is you're going to have water in the bottom of your pan. So I like to put a little towel down to wipe off the bottom of my pan to keep from getting water in my wax. I'm going to move this back over and just start pouring it in. You'd be surprised at how much debris is in there. Now, if you can see in there, you've got the how much combination of honey and debris and all that. Now, I will let this set overnight, and the honey, the debris, and all that will settle to the bottom, and all the wax will come to the top and harden. So when all this has happened, tomorrow I'll come back and I'll show you what we have. Okay, now that we have let our wax sit overnight and see it's hardened, but you still have the honey and the debris on the bottom. Now, if you happen to see my husband Hans in here, he's taking pictures so that when I give you the PDF with step-by-step photos, you will have the photos. See, we've got quite a bit of honey here. So we've got this block, but we need to wash it. So I'm just taking some warm water. Wax there. Now this really does better if you're on if you go to a faucet and wash it pretty hard. Which is what I'll probably have to do is go to the faucet and wash it where I can really get it off. Okay, Okay, now that we have our wax melted, it's in these blocks, and if you've ever dealt with beeswax, it is really, really hard to cut. It's hard to measure, and so we're going to go one step further. Now, when I did these squares, I used cheesecloth, and they were much harder to clean than when I had used a plastic cup and I had strained it with a jelly bag instead of cheesecloth. But like I said, this is really hard to use wax when it's like this. So what I'm going to do is take it a step further and melt it. And then I have prepared, I just have like a little pan here, and I put parchment paper in it. And if you have trouble with your parchment paper wanting to come up and won't stick down, I put a little water on the bottom of the pan and then put my parchment paper down, and that helps it stick to the pan and not keep wanting to rise up. Now all we're doing now is waiting for the wax to melt, and that way I'll have a thin sheet of wax that I can easily break apart when I'm trying to weigh it. Now my wax is melted, and I'm going to wipe this pan off on this towel I have laid down, and I'm going to pour it on this parchment paper. We'll have a nice thin I'm going to turn, maybe turn it a little bit, because I want this wax to be really thin where it's going to be easy to break apart when I want to break it up and measure it when I'm making my body care products. Thank you, and y'all come back. Okay, I've left this hardened, and you can see it's in a very thin sheet. And I can store it like that, or I can go ahead and just kind of break it into some smaller pieces. But when I go to use it and I need to just break off little pieces to weigh, you can see how easy that is going to be. And I just have a little container I'm going to keep it in. Okay. And there you've got it, and you can see how much easier it is to break into little pieces to weigh it for making your body care products. Okay, thank you.